and we also did how to add and subtract like fraction. Today we'll be doing next few types of fraction. Let us start. The next type of fraction is unlike fractions. What do you mean by unlike first? Okay, we need to understand what do you mean by unlike. Unlike is not same. Like in like fraction, the denominators were same. So in unlike fractions, denominator will not be same. What do you mean by unlike? Unlike means different, not same. Similarly, unlike fractions, fractions whose denominators are not same. Clear with this? For example, can I say 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 7 by 8, 9 by 10, 13 by 17, etc. All are the examples of unlike fraction. Why? Because denominators of every fraction in the above example is different. Clear with this? Any doubt in this? So what do you mean by unlike fraction? The fraction whose denominators are not same. Like in like fraction, we did how to add and subtract the like fraction. Similarly, in unlike fraction, we will also learn how to add, subtract, multiply and divide the unlike fraction. But first of all, let us complete with the types of fraction. Next is unit fraction. Understand. What do you mean by unit? Unit means 1. Unit means 1. Yes? So what do you mean by unit fraction? Can anyone? Yes. Those fraction whose numerator is 1. Can you understand this? Those fractions numerator is 1. Numerator should not change. For example, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5, 1 by 101, 1 by 99, etc. All are the examples of unit fraction. Why? Whose fraction whose numerator is 1. Can you see all the fraction here? What are their numerator? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That is why they are known as unit fraction. Again, fraction whose numerator is 1. Okay, do you remember in improper fraction, I told you all the natural numbers can be represented in the improper form. Do you remember? Natural numbers. How? 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 5 by 1, 100 by 1, etc. Can you see what is the difference? Can I say unit fraction is a reciprocal of natural numbers? Yes or no? What do you mean by reciprocal? Numerator becomes denominator, denominators become numerator. This is what happening. Numerator is becoming denominator and denominator is becoming numerator. Can you see? Hence, unit fractions are the reciprocal of natural numbers. Yes or no? Are we clear about this? This is also one of the important concepts. Okay. Next slide. Next is your equivalent fractions. Again, this is also very important. Equivalent. What do you mean by equivalent first? Equivalent fractions. What do you mean by equivalent? Equivalent means equal. Equivalent means equal. So the fraction which are equal to each other are known as equivalent fractions. For example, can I say 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 by 6, 4 by 8, 100 upon 200, etc. all are equivalent fraction. Now you might be thinking, That's why sir is saying they are equivalent fraction. Just see 1 by 2, correct? But can I cut them also? It will become 1 by 2, yes or no? 3 by 6, again if I cut, it will become 1 by 2 because 2 3s are 6. It will also become 1 by 2. 0 0 cancel, 1 by 2. 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Hence they are known as equivalent fractions. Understand in another way. For example, I am having a pizza. Yeah, I have divided the pizza into 2 parts. And I have eaten the half part. What fraction I have eaten? 1 by 2. Clearly, my friend also had same pizza. But what he did, he divided into 4 parts. Okay, and he ate 2 parts. So what fraction he has eaten? 2 by 4. Don't you think I have taken the same pizza and I have eaten half. My friend also took the same pizza, but he ate 2 parts of it out of 4 because he divided into 4 parts. Don't you think they have eaten the equivalent parts? This is what equivalent fraction is. Are we clear? Are we clear about this? So you might write the equivalent fraction. For example, you may have the question, write the equivalent fraction of 1 by 3. We have to write 5 equivalent fractions of 1 by 3. Can I write 2 by 6, 4 by 12, 5 by 15, 6 by 18, 7 by 21, etc. They all are equivalent fractions. 1 by 3, 1 by 3 again, 1 by 3 again, 1 by 3 again, 1 by 3 again. So all are equivalent fractions. So are we clear? The fractions which are equal to each other are known as equivalent fractions. Clear with this? Next, second last type, that is your decimal fraction. Decimal fraction. Decimal is also the part of the chapter. Exercises I think 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 and 2.8 all are based on decimals only. Till now I think you know about the decimal, that for example if I write anything like this, this is known as decimal. And the part before decimal are known as integral parts. And the parts after decimal are known as, yes, decimal parts. Clear with this? So what do you mean by decimal fraction? Decimal fractions are fractions in which denominators are represented. Fractions in which denominators are represented the form of 10 or power of 10. Understand this. Fraction in which denominators are represented in the form of 10 or power of 10. For example, let me write 9 upon 10. Okay. 11 upon 100. 77 upon 1000. Etc. All are the example of decimal fraction. Why? Because if you see clearly, the denominators are either 10 or the power of 10. What do you mean by 100? 10 into 10, it can be equal to 10 raised to power 2. Okay? Now, 1000. 1000 means 10 into 10 into 10. How many times 10 is coming? 3 times. So 10 raised to power 3. So, in which denominators are represented in the form of 10 or the power of 10 are known as decimal fractions. Are we clear about this? Clear? Decimal fraction. If you see denominator 10, 100, 1000, lakh, crores, 1 crore, not. Yeah, one thing very important here. Just I am taking an example. For example, if I am writing 75 upon 200, what do you think? Is a decimal fraction? No, it is not a decimal fraction. Because understand, in the form of 10 or power of 10, but here it is 200. 200 is 2 into 100, means 2 into 10 raised to power 2. This 2 here is extra. That is why it is not a decimal fraction. So for decimal fraction, the condition, the denominator must be 10 or power, 10 raised to power, means 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore, 10 crore, etc. Are we clear about the decimal fraction? Last type is vulgar fraction. Understand? Vulgar fraction. Very easy. Just before we discussed decimal fraction. What was the condition for decimal fraction? That the denominator should be 10 or the power of 10. Now in vulgar fraction, what is the rule? The denominator can be anything except 10 or power of 10. Understood or not? Understood or not? Decimal fraction, the denominator should be the power of 10 or 10, yeah? But in vulgar fraction, the denominator can be anything except. It means if you see 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, those fractions are decimal fraction. But if you see any other number except 10, 100, 1000, then that particular fraction becomes vulgar fraction. For example, 7 upon 200, 7 upon 9, 8 upon 11, etc. They all are examples of vulgar fraction. So can I say simple fraction is the another name of vulgar fraction? Any doubt in this? Vulgar fraction, it's very important. Maximum are not aware about what is vulgar fraction. So understand vulgar fraction, if the denominator is not 10 or 1000 or power of 10, that particular fraction is known as vulgar fraction. Are we clear about this? So with this, we have completed our types of fraction. Now let's move on to the important aspects, that how to add, subtract, multiply or divide unlike fractions. Clear? In last video, I've already stated how to add and subtract unit fraction, like fraction. Like fraction, what is the very important condition? The denominator must be same. So that way, what we can do in like fraction, what we did, we used to, if addition was there, what we used to do, we used to add the numerators, then we used to divide by the denominator simply, or we would have taken the LCM method also. If subtraction is there, we would subtract the numerators and divide by denominator. Now, let's move on to the addition of unlike fractions. What do you mean by unlike fraction? The fraction whose denominators are not same. Okay, let me take an example of, for example, 3 by 4 and 7 by 8. Let me take the example. They are unlike fractions. Why? Here denominator is 4, here denominator is 8. So we need to add them. Now don't think that what we can do, we can add the numerators and then we can add the denominator and that is what the answer is. No ways. Whenever the unlike fraction is there, we have to convert unlike fraction first into like fraction. First thing is convert unlike fractions into like fractions. Very important condition. Because addition or subtraction of like fraction is very easy. So what we can do, we can convert the unlike fraction into like fraction. Now the rule is how to convert unlike fraction into like fraction. What is the rule? Do you remember something? How to convert unlike fraction into like fraction? What is the rule? Yes, the rule is by taking LCM. Guys, why do we take LCM? LCM means lowest common multiple. Yeah, lowest common multiple. The benefit of LCM is that it converts any given number into like terms. What are like terms? Which can be simply added or subtracted. That is why we take the LCM. The purpose of taking LCM in any question is that we convert that particular question into a simple question. By taking LCM, that particular unlike fractions will be converted into like fractions, and addition, subtraction of like fraction is very easy. That is why what we are doing, we'll take the LCM and we'll convert this unlike fraction into like fraction. Okay, now what is the LCM of 4 and 8? I hope you know how to take the LCM. We'll write like this. Now 4 ones are 4 and 4 twos are 8. Right? Next 2 ones are 1. So what is the LCM? Multiply this. So what is the LCM? 4 into 2? 8. Clear? Now 8 divided by 4. What is the answer? 2. Multiply that 2 with 3. This is how we take the LCM. Now 8 divided by 8. What is the answer? 1. 1 into 7. That is 7. Now 2 into 3 is 6. And 1 into 7 is 7. Upon 8. What is the answer? 13 upon 8 is the answer of this question. Clear? So can you see that though this was a proper fraction, why? Because it was, the numerator was less than denominator. This was also proper fraction, but the result of two proper fraction, if we add two proper fraction, we got improper fraction. Yes or no? If I want to write this as mixed fraction, how to do it? Do you remember? Yes. So how to write? Question first, then remainder, and then the divisor. This is what the mixed fraction of this particular improper fraction. Are we clear for the addition? That whenever we need to add two unlike fractions, we will convert the fraction first into the like fraction. How we will convert them into like fraction? By taking LCM. Okay, and after that, whatever the simple LCM, add them and get the answer. Clear? Now let's see the one more problem. Maybe, for example, if I want to add 3 upon 7 plus 1 mixed fraction. Let me take one mixed fraction as 3, 5 by 8, for example. Okay. Now this is also a problem. This is proper fraction. This is mixed fraction. Now how to add a proper fraction and mixed fraction? What we will do? We will convert the mixed fraction into improper fraction first. So 3 by 7 as it is. Now we will convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction. How you used to do? We will multiply the natural number and the denominator, and then we will add numerator to it. So 3 into 8 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29, and then divide by numerator. Sorry, denominator. Now, can you see that what these two types are? Yes, unlike fraction. How to add the unlike fraction? First of all, we will convert them into like fraction. How to convert them into like fraction? Taking LCM. What is the LCM of 7 and 8? Very easy. 56. I hope you know how to do it. 7 1 is 7, and directly without doing anything, 8 1 2. 7 into 8, 56. Or one more shortcut. Just see the number which is common on both the tables. Number which is common on both the tables. Now only 56 is the lowest number which is common on both the tables of 7 and 8. That is why what will be the LCM? 56. Now 56 divided by 7, it is 8. 8 into 3. 56 divided by 8, 7. 7 into 29. Are we clear? This is 24. This will be 29 into 7. 9 sevens are 63. 7 twos are 14. 14 plus 6. 203. 203 upon 56. Yes or no? Now add. We'll be getting 227 upon 56 is the answer. Are we clear about this? Any doubt in this? Anyone with a doubt in this? This is how we have to do it. Now in the same way, we can subtract also. There is not a problem. We can do subtraction also. For example, if I am taking, let me say 2 by 7 and 3 by 8. They are unlike fraction because the denominators are different. How to do? Again, convert into like fraction. How to convert it to like fraction? By taking LCM. Let me make it something else, like a bit complicated. Let me convert it into 4 upon 9. Okay, because you will be thinking why sir is taking 7 and 8 again and again. Let me take 7 and 9. So what is the LCM of 7 and 9? So tell me the number which is common on both the table. That is 63, because 7 9s are 63 and 9 7s are 63. If you see any other number on the both tables, no other number is common. Okay, only 63. So that is why the LCM is 63. 63 divided by 7, it is 9. 9 into 2. 63 divided by 9, 7. 7 into 4. Are we clear? So 9 into 2, 18. Now 7 into 4, 28 upon 63. Now, how to subtract integers? Okay, I don't know whether you know it or no. Let me explain you that addition and subtraction of integers. Like, for example, a subtraction is there. If we need to add two integers, we will add the result is always positive. Okay, if one integer is positive and we need to add them, another is negative, we will always subtract. Do remember, we will always subtract, and the sign of bigger integer will come. I will give you the example here only. Again, if both the integers are there with minus sign, then in that case we will add, but minus sign will come. Am I clear? For example, if I am writing minus 2, minus 2, both the integers are in minus, what we will do? We will add. What is 2 plus 2? 4. But I told you whenever two minuses are there, we will put the minus sign. So what is the answer? Minus 4. Are we clear? So still 1 plus 1 minus. What we will do? We will subtract. So 28 minus 18. What is the answer? 10. Which is bigger? 18 plus 18 or minus 28? Minus 28. 28 is greater. But what sign 28 is having? Minus sign. Therefore, minus sign will come. So what is the answer? Are we clear? Are we clear about this? But in this case, you are getting the answer as minus. So be careful about that. I have taken just an example, but whenever you will be getting the question, your minus will not come. Okay? Clear with this? Any other doubt in this? So today, we have covered with unlike fractions, what do you mean by unit fraction, equivalent fraction, decimal fraction, vulgar fraction, addition, subtraction of addition and subtraction on unlike fraction. There is one last very important topic, order. Order of fraction. What do you mean by order of fractions? Basically, we mean ascending or descending order. Clear? Ascending or descending order. What do you mean by ascending? Lower to higher. What do you mean by descending? Higher to low. Any doubt in this? Now, if, for example, I have given a sequence like 2 upon 8, 3 upon 8, 7 upon 8, and let me make 11 upon 8. If I have to arrange this, and somebody asks me, please arrange in ascending order. Now, if ascending order, what we have to do? We have to arrange from lower to higher. Can you see all our like fractions? Because denominator is same. In case if the like fraction is there, you need not to worry, just see the numerator. 11, 2, 3, 7. Which is lowest number? 2. So 2 by 8. Clear? Next, bigger number? 3 by 8. Next bigger number? 7 by 8. Next bigger number? 11 by 8. Simple. In case of like fraction, we see which is the bigger number. or which is the smaller number, depending upon what order have been put in up across you. If ascending, starting from lower to higher. If descending, higher to lower. If I need to change into descending order, simply what we will do, just interchange the problem. Yes, 11 by 8 will come first, then 7 by 8, then 3 by 8, then 2 by 8. Are we clear? Last thing. Now we were talking about like fraction. If any unlike fraction is given to you, then what we have to do? For example, 2 upon 5, 4 upon 6, 3 upon 4, and let me take 7 upon 2. They all are unlike fraction because denominators are different. If somebody asks me arrange them in ascending order, what we have to do? What is the simplest thing? Yes, we will convert all the fraction into like fraction. How we will do it? By taking LCM. Yes, very good. Whenever, please convert first any given unlike fraction to like fraction. It will really help you. Half, if you convert any unlike fraction into like fraction, you have done 90% of your work. After only 10%, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, whatever the examiner has asked you to do it. Okay, LCM of 5, 6, 4 and 2. Let me take 2 first. Does not. 2 3s are 6, 2 2s are and 2 1s are. Now again 2 because I will be eliminating 2 here. Now 3 because we are left with only 3. So now what is the LCM? 3 into 2, 6. 6 into 2, 12. So what is the, sorry, something, okay, 5 is left. Okay, sorry, 5 is left here. One more 5 is left. Okay, sorry. 5, 1, done. Now, 5 into 3, 15. 15 into 2, 30. 30 into 2, 60. So 60 is the LCM of this. Now, 60 divided by 5. What is the answer? 12. 12 into 2, done. 60 divided by 6, 10. 10 into 4. 60 divided by 4, 15. 15 into 3. And 6 divided by 2. What is the answer? 30 into 7. And it up. Now, can I write 24 upon 60? 40 upon 60? 45 upon 60? And 110 upon 60. Can you see? That given order was already in ascending order because they are like fraction, and if I talk about numerator, 24, 40, 45, 210. This is how we convert unlike fractions into like fraction and then we put them in the correct order. Are we clear with this? In next video we will be doing multiplication and division, and after that we will be completing with the fraction, and then next week we will be starting with the decimal part. Stay home, stay happy, all the best of luck.